Hey guys, welcome back to a new video, and today we're going to teach you how to drive manual transmission.
Alright, so this is going to be a tutorial. I'll try to do the best job possible to try and help you guys out. So first of all, you obviously want to come to maybe your local park on a day that it's not too busy, and you obviously want to try and you're obviously going to come with someone that already knows how to drive the car. I mean, how are you gonna get here? How are you gonna get the car here if you don't know how to drive manual transmission in the first place? So this video is just for like a reinforcement, you could say. Or you could have someone that knows how to drive manual drive it here for you. Be like, watch, I could learn by myself after you watch this video. Maybe it'll work out for you, who knows. But as most of you know, you go manual transmission, 3 pedals. It's okay, don't be scared. We'll be going over all of that. I mean, basically, your brake pedal and your gas pedal, you're still gonna maneuver those with your right foot, obviously. And the only thing different is you're gonna actually be using your left foot also to drive the car. So let's hop in and get started. So usually when I turn the car off and park it, well, right now I'm on a flat surface, but get in the habit of putting it in a gear, even if the road you're on or where you parked is flat. It's almost like putting an automatic in parking. That way your car, no one can push it off. If you leave it in neutral is here in the center. You're able to wiggle it around. That's how you know you're neutral. So here is what a manual transmission the gears look like. Some are different, some have reverse to the left. This one has it in case all the way to the right and up. As you can see, it's a 6 forward speed manual transmission. 1, 2, and then 4 and 3 right in the middle, and then 5 and 6, and then reverse all the way to the right and up. But each one's different. So anyways, the car's off right now. I think I have this one has an electronic parking brake, so I have it on. That's another thing. I usually don't use it unless I'm on a hill. Like if I'm on a flat surface, flat road, I basically just leave the car in a gear. All right, so how do you turn on a manual transmission? It won't turn on. So in this case, you gotta actually depress the clutch, which is the one all the way on the left. Usually I get in the habit of holding the brake and the clutch while I'm turning on the car. So right now I'm still holding the brake and the clutch because I have the car in a gear. If you let go too quick while you're in gear, well, if you let go of the clutch too fast, your car will start to it'll turn off on you. It'll stall. See, you hear that? I don't want to do it because it kind of like shakes forward really violently. Anyways, if you're not ready to get going, put it in neutral, and then you can let go of the clutch. So I just have my foot on the brake. If you have the electronic parking brake, I mean, you could obviously also let go of the brake. You'll be fine. I'm parked safely here in a spot. So whatever, put your glasses on, put your song on. In this case, we're gonna turn on the performance data recorder, which we'll go more over that in details in our review. Basically, there's a camera up here. So like I was saying, there's basically a camera here pointing outwards that records as you drive, and there's different settings. That's basically mostly used for if you're gonna track the vehicle, but I use it on a constant basis, just as basically as like it's called a dash cam, just in case, you know. Anyways, once you're ready, you put on your music, whatever, your seatbelt. Yes, very important. So you already know how to turn the car on. Now we're gonna teach you how to get it going. So when you're ready to go, you're gonna put your foot back on the brake. Let go. This one, to release the parking brake, it's downwards. So once you're really ready to get the car going, put your foot on that clutch and then put it in first gear. You always start in first gear. Even in an automatic car, it'll go in order: first, second, third, fourth, fifth. and if it has, depending how many forward speeds it has. So this is the trickiest part for everyone, basically almost everyone that's barely starting to drive manual transmission, is getting the car to move forward. So what a lot of people teach you is that, oh, you slowly depress on the clutch while you're applying pressure on the gas. But what I like to teach better is to learn, let me reverse it, learn how to get the car going just by letting go of the clutch slowly. So kind of like in an automatic, when you have it in drive and you let go of the brake, it goes on its own, right? So like about 5 miles per hour. You could do the same thing in a manual transmission. So here you go. Again, clutch in, put it in first, and then don't even worry about the gas pedal right now. Just learn, I'm letting go of the clutch slowly. Slowly, and boom, the car's going. I'm not even applying gas right now. This is kind of like having a, like I said, automatic in drive and letting go of the brake. Learn that first before you start applying that, where you gotta apply the gas at the same time you depress the clutch. So make sure you learn that. Every car's clutch is different. Some of them are softer, some of them are harder. So just make sure you learn that first. And yeah, I'll teach you when you should shift and all once we get on the road here. So remember, learn that first before you actually even get out on the public roads. So right now I'm applying a little bit of gas, just going around the parking lot. So yeah, manual transmission, I love it. Once I learned manual transmission in my old Camaro, I never went back. I know new automatic transmissions are faster than their manual counterparts by like 0.2 of a second. I don't care. Unless they're gonna be like half a second to a second faster, you're not gonna see me get, especially a sports car. You're not gonna see me in an automatic for a good while. Sure, in the traffic it kind of sucks, especially stop and go on the freeways, but that to me is not even a pain compared to the driver engagement that I get out of driving a manual transmission vehicle. And a lot of people are losing this skill, and a lot of car robbers actually don't know how to drive manual transmission. So it serves as a death deterrent as well, as you could say. So yeah, I'll get you guys on the road so I can start going over how to actually be driving out on the roads with manual transmission. So yeah, first thing, learn how to get the car going. Well, let's say I want to park already. So when I park, I usually start braking, put the clutch in. Once I get to my spot, leave it in first already, or in a gear at least, and then hold your brake in, clutch in. Once you're ready, just turn it off and you can let go of everything. Remember, if you're on a flat road, you don't have to put the electronic brake or the parking brake, but you can. I mean, I usually don't. Like, leaving it in a gear is just as good. So just remember that. Same thing, you're ready to go, put your foot on the brake, foot on the clutch, turn it on. Remember, don't let go of the clutch till you have it in neutral, or till you're actually ready to get going. So neutral, let go of the clutch, let go of the brake if you want to, if your parking brake's on, and get yourself ready, situated before you actually get going. So we'll be going out on the road right now, so I could teach you the proper way to be shifting from first to second. So all I did was teach you how to just get the car going, and I basically kept it in first because I didn't go over like 10 miles per hour here in the parking lot. So we'll go ahead and go out and do that right now. Alright guys, so you guys are ready to take it out on the streets here. So remember, a little review: your car's parked, leave it in a gear, and only, I mean, it's up to you, but I only use a parking brake when I'm like on a slanted road, I guess. So yeah, remember, you want to turn on the car, put your foot in the clutch, push the button or turn the key depending on your car. Once you're ready to go, If you're not ready, put it in neutral. That way you can let go of the clutch. So, I mean, it doesn't get tiring. It could get a little tiring holding the clutch all the time. So in case you're not ready, you gotta put your seatbelt on, you gotta put on music, whatever. You can let go of the clutch once you have it in neutral. And my foot's always on the brake. It's just out of habit. I even do an automatic transmission. I don't unless I'm parked on the side safely or in a parking spot and it's on park, or in this case a manual transmission car, I'm on a straight road and I'm not ready, I could leave everything off. I could leave it in neutral. I could take off the parking brake and you'll be fine without applying the brake, because again, you're on a straight road. Unless someone comes in and strong enough to push your car, then that's a different story. But once you're ready to go, clutch again, first gear. Take off my emergency lights here. So I'm letting go of the brake. So right now, like I taught you, you can let go of the clutch slowly and boom, the car goes on its own 5 miles per hour. I could apply gas. And remember, you gotta learn how to do those things, how to let go of the clutch and apply the gas simultaneously. All right, cool, you mastered that, now you're on the road. What's next? When you go into higher speeds, you gotta, in the manual transmission, you gotta race the gear yourself. If you notice, when you drive your automatic transmission vehicle, every like 15-20 miles per hour, depending on how hard you hit the gas, it'll lower the RPMs for you, and it does that because it shifts into a higher gear. So that's the thing you gotta do with the manual transmission vehicle. So in this car, I'll usually shift every like 15-20 miles per hour. So by the time I'm going 40, like streets, like most avenue speeds limits, and I like 40-45, I'll maybe be like in 4th gear or so. But in the beginning, from first to second, I shift like at 20 just to get that extra acceleration, that extra little powered up to get there. Also, another tedious thing is this car forces you out of second and third if you apply the gas too slowly, or if you don't go up to a certain speed, and that's pretty annoying. So what it'll do is it'll force you to shift to 4th, and by that time I'm barely going, what, 15, less than 20, and I lose a lot of power. I think that works best when you're going in stop and go traffic, but in this case on the street, it's annoying. So that's why I usually go up to like 20 and shift so it makes sure that it doesn't force me out of second and third. Okay, so cool, you got the car running from 1st gear. So around, like I said, around 20 miles per hour, you want to shift. You'll hear the car getting louder. And if you're not accelerating, I mean, you're gonna want to shift into a higher gear. You want to conserve your engine. You want to get better fuel economy, essentially. So you definitely do want to shift unless you're actually accelerating. So right now, straight away, 1st gear, around 20. Apply the clutch, let go of the clutch, and apply the gas almost simultaneously. Same thing with 3rd gear. So same thing as you go up higher in gear. One thing you'll notice is as you get into higher gears, you can let go of the clutch much faster. So you don't have to be easy on the clutch. It's just basically finding that sweet spot where you let go of the clutch and the car is ready to move. Like I said, train to do that first from 1st gear. So that way you'll master when the light turns green, you're ready to go. From 1st to 2nd, clutch, shift, and then let go of clutch and apply the gas. Basically, that's essentially the whole idea for every single gear you're going into. So obviously, if you're ever going to take it on the highway, you're gonna want to be in 6 if you're not accelerating anymore. Get the best out of your fuel economy out of your car. Usually when I approach a red light or a stop sign, I'll put it in neutral and start braking and let go of the clutch. I mean, you want to conserve your clutch too. Once I'm ready to go, 3 seconds go by, shift to 1st, and then get the car going. So that's only when I approach a stop sign or a red light. You could put your car in neutral, start hitting the brakes, and then just make sure you get ready for when the light turns green. And then one way I usually get ready to move as soon as the light turns green is I look at the other lights. Most intersections, the lights usually have the same pattern. So once I see like this direction, like the not the parallel but the perpendicular lane, their lights turn yellow. Usually that means you're about to go soon, so that's when I start putting the car in first, so I'm ready when the light turns green. I'm just ready to move. So right now I'm waiting for the light. We're in neutral. Okay, the light just turned green. Shift to first with the clutch, let go of the clutch slowly, and apply gas. And it's pretty easy once you get the feel of things. Let's see what else. So say you're taking it on you're gonna go race on the drag strip. Obviously I'm not gonna endorse street racing here. So just like an automatic, if you press on the gas, it's gonna go into the lowest gear possible at that RPM, at that the lowest gear possible without damaging your engine. And what that means is every gear is optimized for a certain top speed. So my first gear can go up to 52 miles per hour. So if I'm going like 60, I'm not gonna shift into first, or else I'm really gonna cause my engine a lot of damage. So if I'm going 50, I'm gonna downshift to second. I mean, yeah, most likely. I mean, that only leaves me 2 miles per hour for first gear. So one of my tips here for you is to learn at a drag strip, of course. Learn what the top speed is for each gear of your car. That way you don't accidentally downshift to the wrong gear and just mess your engine up and your transmission, and now you have serious problems. So like I was saying, just like in an automatic car, when you step on it, you'll notice that the RPMs climb all the way to the red line. So in a manual transmission car, it's pretty much the same thing. You're gonna floor it, and you're gonna watch out for the red line. As soon as you're about or before, a little before the red line, you're gonna shift. And that's basically how you would go on about optimizing your every gear, the top speed of every gear in your manual transmission car. Like I said, that's something to be done at a drag strip. Yeah, I mean, once I went into manual transmission, I really enjoy it. It's really engaging. So I don't think you're ever gonna see me in a sports car in an automatic transmission unless it's like half a second or a second faster, or they don't offer it in manual transmission anymore. That's how much I've enjoyed driving manual transmission. That's how much it's engaging it is. Now people know how to drive manual transmission these days, so it kind of works as a death deterrent if you think about it. You got most robbers won't probably be able to know how to drive manual transmission, so how are they going to steal your car in the first place? But yeah, that's basically it. One more tip. I'm gonna turn right here. Actually, same thing as I'm approaching a red light or a stop sign. Put it in neutral and start braking. But in this case, before the turn, I'll downshift to about second, because you'll be going about 15, 20 in the turn. So you want to downshift to second. Oh, and that leads me to downshifting actually. So just like you're upshifting, you're doing it manually for the car. Downshifting is going to be the same story. So how do you know when to downshift? Well, if you brake and you need the extra power to get up to speed, you're obviously going to have to downshift. So sometimes someone will go into a driveway and you don't completely come to a stop. Maybe you'll. Alright guys, so like I was saying, I'm still gonna go into downshifting. How do you know when you gotta downshift? Well, just like an automatic car, if you don't come to a complete stop, it'll downshift for you. That way you access more power and you can accelerate better. So let me show you a good example. So say on this street, I'm already on 3rd, and say someone starts going in front of me, starts going to a drive, I'm going to slow down. And you don't usually slow down to see full stop. You'll slow down to about 15 or so. So let's see, let me try it again. Streets aren't long enough here. So I'm in 3rd, I slow down, and I need to go get some more power again. Shift down to 2nd, and then you apply the gas a little bit to get the shifts up to where they're supposed to be. You're basically syncing the revolutions of the transmission with that of the engine. So you gotta learn how to do that so you can prevent damage to your manual transmission, to a transmission of your vehicle. And yeah, that comes after also learning about the high speed you can get in each gear. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can look that up somewhere or in the manual of your vehicle, just so that you have an idea of where you can downshift to at what speeds. So if I'm going 4th at 50 and I slow down to 20, I want to downshift about 2nd gear. That's enough power still to get me going again. I could technically downshift to 1st, because 1st handles all the way to 52 miles per hour, but then I just have the engine roaring, and then that's if I really want to take off or race or something. So yeah, downshifting, yeah, obviously clutch in, you're gonna lower your gear, maybe like 1 or 2 gears lower, and then before you let go of the clutch, you want to apply a little bit of gas right as you're letting go of the clutch. That way, once you let go of the clutch, your RPM's like at the set spot, and you don't cause damage to your transmission. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so now we're gonna go and show you guys how to you basically find like a hill or a slant, so that way you're able to practice, because sometimes you will end up stopping at a red light or a stop sign that's either going uphill or downhill, and that could be a little trickier because also, I didn't mention it earlier, but when you have your foot in the clutch, and even if you're in gear, it's almost like having the car on neutral. It's not until you let go of the clutch and get the car going that's when it'll start moving. So if you're getting ready to go drive go from a green light or a stop sign on a slant, and you have your foot on the clutch, and if you don't do the release of the clutch and applying the gas like fast enough, your car can actually roll backwards if you're up the hill, or roll downwards more than you anticipated if you're obviously facing down the hill. So we're actually gonna go and show you guys just some tips on how to overcome that. Basically, you just want to go find like I said, an empty road that slanted and that you could practice on. And fortunately, we have one here in the city, so we're gonna head over there and just show you how it feels like being on a slant in a manual transmission car. And so it's not the same as in automatic. You just let your foot off the brake and the car will actually go for you. So it doesn't work that way, not in the manual transmission. Alright guys, so here we are at that slanted road I was talking about. Well, there's basically just get a storage units behind me. People can go and store their stuff. So this is where I came when I first had the 2011 Camaro. It says this is where I first came to train practice driving up a hill. So you know, like I said, there's some stop signs or red lights you'll come to and say it's right here. Oh, here's a red light or a stop sign. Boom. I usually still keep, especially if it's a red light, put it in neutral and keep my foot on the brake, obviously. So like I said, even in an automatic, if you're neutral, you let go of the gas, the brake, you're going backwards, see? And depending on the degree of the slant, you could end up going back pretty fast and hitting the car behind you. This car comes with hill assist or something like that. I think it helps you stabilize the car on a hill and make sure you don't roll backwards, but I know most manual transmission cars don't have that. I know my old one didn't have that. So let me see. I hate that. I don't know if you could deactivate it, but cause I don't really need it, but it's just there. So yeah, when you're ready to go, the light turns green. I mean, you might even start getting ready, putting it first, keeping your foot on the clutch and the brake because you're in a gear. As soon as the light turns green, in the old one, this is where you gotta find that sweet spot, because like I said, if you learn how to find that sweet spot first, it's easy for you to get the car going, and it's gonna help you here at this. So yeah, what I was saying is, once you learn that sweet spot of letting go of your clutch and the car moves on its own, it'll help you here when you come across a situation where you're on a slant. And so in the old one, this one has, like I said, hill start assist, which I do not like. I basically get to that sweet spot kind of like before you're gonna stall, but when the car will move on its own, and you'll slowly let go of your brake and apply the gas, and you'll get the car rolling up once the light turns green or you're done with the stop sign. Like say you're neutral, or even if you're in a gear, watch, put in first, let go of the brake. My clutch is in. See, basically like I'm in neutral, we're rolling backwards right now. So having it in first is not enough, and obviously the clutch is not enough. You gotta be able to let go of the clutch and press the gas. See, you hear that? It's the hill assist, and I don't really like that. It's hard to teach you guys in a car that has hill assist. Basically holds the car in place for me. But anyways, that's the idea. You want to find the sweet spot and hit the gas at the same time, and you'll move forward, no problem. So yeah, down the hill it's easier because obviously that's the direction you're going. You're not going the opposite direction. So just be aware how fast your car rolls down the hill on its own before you're gonna apply gas. But it's not as bad as when you're going uphill. Obviously uphill you want to go forward and you're gonna end up rolling backwards. Oh, shit, man. So that's pretty much it for this manual transmission tutorial. We will be doing I will be doing a point of view like in the canyons or something, possibly, and we are going to be working on a full review of this car. So stay tuned for that. But if you guys have any other questions about manual transmission, let me know in the comments and I'll answer them to the best of my abilities. So yeah, thanks guys for watching this video, and please subscribe and give it a thumbs up. We'll see you guys next time.